That's the message, and the medium is Marshall McLuhan. Good evening, and welcome to Monday Conference, which has often been said to be not so hot. When future historians look back on the 20th century, it's almost certain that one of the statements from this era, which they will treasure for posterity, is the medium is the message. Like most of Marshall McLuhan's statements, it's pithy, apparently simple, and provocative to the point of being outrageous. Another of his propositions is that some media are cool and some are hot. Marshall McLuhan studies the media as a way of understanding what it is that makes us live in the way we do, as a way of understanding society itself. He's concerned with all media, but he's best known for his work on the electronic media, particularly radio and television. He sees them as the extension of our central nervous system, and argues that they're leading to an electrical retribalization of the West. If there is a Mr. Electric of the 20th century, it's Marshall McLuhan. More formally, he's Professor of English in the University of Toronto, Canada, and Director of the Centre for Culture and Technology there. Among Professor McLuhan's books are The Mechanical Bride, War and Peace in the Global Village, and of course, Understanding Media, The Extensions of Man. Marshall McLuhan has been brought to Australia by the Sydney radio station 2FM to address a seminar on the commercial broadcasting and music industry. Earlier tonight, Professor McLuhan gave his address, and now he is ready for questions from the audience with us, made up of the participants in the seminar and members of the general public. Professor McLuhan, I think we'd better deal with the medium as the message before it does go into the 21st century. When you say the medium is the message, does that leave any room at all for criticism of individual, say, television programs, what our world is made of? Yes. It doesn't much matter what you say on the telephone. The telephone as a service is a huge environment to the artist, and that is the medium. And the environment affects everybody. What you say on the telephone affects very few. And the same with radio or any other medium. What you print is nothing compared to the effect of the printed word. The printed word sets up a paradigm, a structure of awareness which affects everybody in very, very drastic ways, and it doesn't very much matter what you print as long as you go on in that form of activity. You've said that television promotes illiteracy. I don't think it promotes illiteracy. I think it creates another form of awareness. Now, literacy has very strange antecedents, very strange effects on people, and there are only uniqueness of literacy as a form of awareness is highly dispensable object going back, stand back objects and situations. The TV person has no objectivity at all. Television site, it tends films, the ones we might select now, would probably but remember now, this is Shakespeare wrote plays that were considered very vulgar and popular entertainment of his own day. There is an idea. Nobody had any criteria for that. And just pattern recognition. This is the kind of person when you give people too much, if we have no criteria for use, they resort to pattern recognition. The measurements that we do use, in other words, to structure how much detail is dropped. And I think this is part of the artist, what the artist when he encounters the contemporary artist is always seeking new pattern recognition, which is his task.
And it doesn't matter
His
what
great
we say on
the
TV.
absolute indispensability
Why are we all here
is
now?
that he alone in the encounter
Why am I
with the
on
person can give the pattern recognition. I didn't use the century. I didn't say it didn't matter what you asked us. I said that the effect that he's more important than a scientist. A scientist like to wake up in this program, and there's a huge technology called artificial which surrounds you with its own physics. And the effect of that huge service environment on you, the person, is vast. The effect of the program is incidental. Show you're undoubtedly
earlier in your talk this evening, you spoke about the search for identity through violence. I think we'd all agree now, if we ever could afford violence, we can, as weaponry becomes more efficient, we can no longer forwardly afford violence. Perhaps you suggest that the alternative that we offer instead of the search for identity through violence.
Dialogue. The alternative to violence is dialogue, which is a kind of encounter interface with other people and situations. But yes, we live in a world in which we have so much power. In the old days, you could pull a trigger on a revolver and hurt people. But today, when you trigger these vast media that we use, you are manipulating entire populations. And the kinds of violence that we can now exert collectively are such as to require the situation to cool right down, cool. And we have, by means of the overkill, we have created a kind of universal peace in the world. The means of destruction are so vast at our command that if war becomes unthinkable. So, in the same way, people are cooled off by media and by situations which require dialogue rather than just self-expression. Violence is a kind of self-expression. And so that the quest for identity, the person who is struggling to find out who am I, by all sorts of maladjustments, all sorts of quarrels, all sorts of encounters, such a person is a social nuisance, of course. But the quest for identity goes along with this bumping into other people in order to find out who am I, how much power can I exert, how much identity can I discover that I possess by simply banging into other people. And so that's what I had in mind when I said the quest for identity is always a violent quest. It's a series of adventures and encounters that create all sorts of disturbance. I suppose I don't think you have to go very far in literature, for examples of it. I suppose Don Quixote is a great popular hero, and Flash Gordon, and Superman. But we're now beginning to gather, I'm thinking now of this new show, the Star Wars, that is the new Hollywood thing, that is based on Flash Gordon, the bionic man, bionic woman. These are vicarious forms of violence in which young people
I'm trying to discover who am I. I once asked my granddaughter, one of our granddaughters, who was then 6, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said instantly, bionic woman.